Hi guys, I'm back again with home buying tip number 2. Okay, so home buying tip number 2 is once you've been pre-approved for this loan, okay, which I forgot to mention in that tip. If you're trying to qualify for this home mortgage with 2 incomes, let's say, you're doing this with your significant other, I am going to highly recommend that you try to qualify with 1 income if you possibly can. Or even if you need both incomes to qualify for the loan, and let's say you qualify for the loan for a $300,000 mortgage or a $300,000 loan, a house. And try not to go and buy a $300,000 house. Try to buy a house that you can really afford with 1 income. Okay, the reason I say this, let's say you qualified for a home and you use both incomes. That means that the mortgage lender is considering both of your incomes to be able to afford the mortgage payment. Now, that concerns me only because let's say a year from now you go and you buy this $300,000 house that obviously you qualified with both incomes because between both incomes you can afford the payment. Something happens with one of your incomes, loss of job, illness, whatever it may be. But let's say one of those incomes disappears. Now you have to worry about the fact that you cannot afford that mortgage because you were depending on both those incomes and now one of those incomes is gone. Ooh, did I just do that? Sorry. Didn't mean to do that blooper, but it's okay. I'm going to keep going. So very important that you don't buy a home with 2 incomes if you can. You can qualify with both incomes, but try not to go overboard and buy a house that, says, oh, you both qualify for $500,000 house. And then, you get into a $500,000, payment or mortgage payment. And then all of a sudden one of those incomes is gone and you can't afford the mortgage and you lose your home. So, be conscious about that. Okay. Now, part of tip number 2 is get yourself a professional like me, a realtor that can help you find this home. The next step is really going to be now you're qualified, you know how much money or how much home you can afford, and now you need to find that home. That's where us realtors come in. Now we're going to go ahead and send you listings based on your criteria. It could be, I want 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, whatever it is. I want it in this neighborhood and this is my price point. So we're going to send you listings for those homes. Tip number 2 is basically once you get those listings, you're going to pick the top 5, okay? Because you don't want to start looking at 50 homes. That's just not that doesn't work. And then you're really going to be looking at homes for the next 6 months. No, you want to pick the top 5 homes that you really like. You're going to take a drive by that neighborhood because you want to see what the neighborhood looks like. Try to go around 5 or 6 towards the end of the day so you can see people coming home, what type of area it is. You can see, maybe stay a little while when it gets dark and see what it looks like. But you want to make sure that you are actually doing this because you don't want to go see a house in a neighborhood that you're really not going to like, or in an area or block that you're like, no, I really don't want to live there. Okay. So before you go and tell your realtor, okay, I want to see this house, this house, this house, this house, just go take a drive around the area. If you really like the area and you really, really want to see the house, then call your realtor and say, these are the 5 houses that I really want to go look at. And then we will go ahead and schedule those 5 appointments so that you can go look at these houses. That is tip number 2. And tomorrow I will come back with tip number 3.